Hello and welcome to Homestead Miami Speedway. My name is John Theodore, streaming live at twitch.tv/John Theodore Live, recorded version of this broadcast.
I hope that's not a bad
Thing
omen.
at youtube.com/John Theodore.
2x before you
Appreciate
start.
y'all being here. We're in the number 14 NASCAR 2 The Player car. Awesome paint scheme. Found it on Trade and Paints. Absolutely love it. Let's go get qualified here. This will, in all likelihood, be my last attempt at Homestead. I won't be running tomorrow. Maybe Sunday night, I might do something, but we'll see. But yeah, this is likely my last shot at Homestead, and then next week I'll definitely take a couple tracks at Richmond.
Green flag.
And then, no racing for a while, because I will not be here to do any racing. Didn't get all the dig out of 2 there that I wanted. Not what I wanted out of that lap. 392 is not bad. I think that may be the best qualifying lap that I've put down. I think yesterday we were in the 4s. We were in the 1 car and it put us in 14th. This time we're in the 14 car and we're sitting 12th right now, so I don't know how well that's going to hold up. I still have not figured out how to lay down a super fast lap. You know, the fast laps I've seen are in the 0s. Best I've been able to get is in the 2s.
Checker.
We are 14th in the 14 car. Now dropping further. 15th. '17th. 32.968. Buy the pro license, guy. Yeah, it's just that kind of lap time requires more practice than I'm willing to do right now.
2.
Tire management,
1.
right? We're
Right here.
Our path to victory here is not on the raw speed strategy. It's going to be, you know, figuring out some kind of wily veteran way, working our way back to the. Look at this, man. We're even with the 392. We're still like second from the bottom in terms of cars that put a lap time down. That's wild. Oh, yeah. Don't burn a set of tires on the first caution that comes out on lap 8. We learned that lesson the hard way yesterday. Whoopsie. I'll be happy with this race. If I can just get a complete race, I'll be happy with that. Wherever the chips fall, if I can just feel like I put together a complete race, I'll feel good about that. Looks like the really fast guys are doing it on the second lap, maybe, because Bowden, yeah, I wonder if they're doing something where they're actually getting a better lap on lap 2.
We've put in plenty of fuel to finish the race.
No, you haven't. That was an incorrect communication from the crew chief there, and spotter. All right. Good luck, guys. There we go. I pledge to be a good sport, whether I win or lose, to other people online
Good
or
luck,
real
everyone.
people, and my words have real impact, to set a positive example with my behavior, to speak up against discrimination, hate speech, harassment, and abuse, to show integrity by honoring the rules, my opponents and my teammates, to stop, listen, and reassess if I'm told that my words or actions are harmful, and to respect others, even if their sincere opinions are different from my own. Exclamation mark GLHF in my Twitch channel chat. Link in the description below this video if you'd like to take the pledge yourself, be part of making an online game at a better, more pleasant pace for everyone involved. Starting 18th in the 14 car. Was that a follow, a sub, or was that a follow, or I think that was a new follower, so welcome. Thank you for the follow. There's another one. Thank you very much. Please say hello in chat. I'm not getting the chat blurb, so I can't see who's following, but appreciate you guys. I did see the follower count go up, so welcome. Wyatt Tinsley, Mr. Pole Sitter with the pro license. Well, well, I'm honored. Thank you, sir.
You have 2 additional sets of tires for this race. Be smooth and have
I take a
good
few
run.
months off of the sim, and I don't even recognize the names that have the pro licenses anymore. That's how
Kyle?
quickly things change on here.
Kyle, speak to me.
Yeah, I did. Appreciate that, yeah. Yeah. Yeah, Gasso, good to see you in chat again, man.
I think how much you been running.
Good luck to you, too.
What's
Nice
your
lap.
weapon?
Alright, fellas,
I've been off for like 3
amazing
weeks.
day for a race here today.
Don't let me
Great
see you.
racetrack for us, guys. I'm looking forward to having a lot of fun. Got a great
That was my
crowd,
first race.
great
They'll
weather,
definitely see me.
great race car, great pit box. Everything's looking good, fellas, so let's be smart.
Yeah, can I speed for something?
W. Tinsley. I feel like I've raced
Oh,
with
yeah.
a W. Tinsley before, like, at some point, but
So there, I just thought I was going all out on that qualified lap, and I'm 16.
not very often.
Deep breath, bud. Deep breath. I just took one.
Thank you for that follow. Much appreciated. Welcome to the family. Here we go.
Boss man, you ready? Have a great day.
Love getting that butterfly in your stomach feeling right as you pull up for the start of a race. That's just, that's cool. That's how you know it's a simulator.
Right inside. Still there. Still there.
You get that little flutter. It means that it has significance.
No hole yet. One car inside. Clear low.
There are certain things that this simulates extremely accurately, and that the intensity of competition is simulated extremely well with iRacing.
Working the bottom.
I could have shut the door there.
Still inside.
Felt risky, so I decided against it. North Wilkesboro is back. How you doing? Yeah, we'll see. We're playing a long game here. Yeah, this is an official series, which means that my iRating has been taking a punishing with my poor results in the first couple.
Have a go on 7 tires. You want to go?
Yes. With 760, you would definitely be in the bottom split, but, you know.
Inside. Still inside.
Just look at that as if you put a little bit of time into it, you should be able to just walk away from the field. You just invest something in practice, If you can get your lap time in practice down to a 33.2, you should be able to start from the pole and just have all the nonsense happen in your rearview mirror. Don't start from the pits. Why would you do that? Then you're guaranteeing that you're going to have to drive through the entire pack. Go out there and run a couple hours of practice, figure out what the fast guys are doing, learn how to run that line, and start on pole and just walk away from them. Well, I was going to go the other way with the gas. I was going to say, you know, you'll find idiots in bottom split, middle split, top split. There's no escaping the idiots on iRacing.
Inside. Still on the inside. Still inside.
The only way to not get wrecked by bums in iRacing is to outrun them.
Side.
If you've got someone who you really think is a bad driver
Needed.
and they wreck you, that's your fault. If they're that bad, why did they catch you? There's a Jeff Gordon car right in front of me. There's a Carl Edwards car up there. There's a Steve Park car. There's a Ryan Newman. Heck, there's an Elliott Sadler car up there. They allow custom cars in every series. Is there a Rusty car? I don't see one. Do they not allow custom paint schemes on the F1? Oh, that's right, they don't.
Quarter inside.
That's right, I remember hearing about that.
Still inside. Still inside. Clear, clear, clear.
I did hear about that.
Working the bottom. Clear.
That's a pity. I remember that. That was already when I was coming off the sim, or was basically wasn't running everything. So I remember hearing about that discussion. I wasn't a part of it but yeah, like now that you mention it, I do remember that as being an aspect of the F1 car when they released the new one. That Blue Deuce is not Rusty. That is a Blue Deuce AC Delco car. That is a Kevin Harvick Busch Grand National Series throwback.
Oh, sorry, Kyle. I'll get up soon first.
That is AC Delco on that car, not Miller Lite. Yeah. You see that one a lot, actually. I have seen folks running Rusty Wallace stuff. But yeah, that AC Delco, that RCR Busch Grand National AC Delco paint scheme is really popular. I mean, it's a good-looking car. I can see why it's popular. The thing looks great. Jimmy Broadbent's new video saying esports cheating is ruining ruining sim racing as a whole. I did not watch that. My guess would be that I would probably agree with all the points that he's making. Cheating in competitive gaming is a thing across the board.
Outside. Clear high.
I don't know if you're aware of or if you saw the I like Linus Tech Tips, so because of that, I've gotten into the rabbit hole of following the Escape from Tarkov cheating scandal. But Williams Esports, I did hear about that. I did hear something about Williams Esports getting caught using grip hacks. Like, what, why? Like, I understand the answer to why. Okay, there's a lot of money. That's the easy answer. But really, why? How can you ever have any joy? How can you ever derive actual joy or satisfaction from winning in a competition where you know you cheated?
Still inside. Clear him. Clear.
I mean, I don't know. The folks who do that are just wired differently than me. I guess I've just got a different set of priorities from how folks who cheat. Like, for me, it wouldn't matter how much money was on the line. Like, honestly, if there was something substantive on the line that I got as a reward for doing something where I knew I cheated, that'd make it worse. I would feel even worse about it. Because, but like, it's like I'd be sitting there and the whole time that whatever I won would just be haunting me and taunting me because I wouldn't be able to shake the knowledge in my head that I had done something dishonest to get it. Rather than, like, I'm super proud of as insignificant as it is. I'm so proud of that NASCAR Legends Championship that I won, because I know that I won it by working on this as a skill, honing my craft, as insignificant as this all is. Like, I worked at it, I got better, I earned it. That is an acknowledgement and recognition of the hard work that I did earning it, doing it all the right way. So it has value to me because I know that I earned it. If I, even if I had fooled everyone and, like, if I had done it illegitimately and I'd fooled everyone and no one ever caught me, I would still know that I had cheated to get it. I'd never be able to look at it. I would hide it in a drawer. I wouldn't display that thing anywhere. Because I'd be ashamed of it. It would be the greatest source of shame in my life.
Still inside. Clear inside.
Yeah, I think Cadell's the same way. He doesn't take things. I've always had a ton of respect for Cadell, by the way. I told this to him recently, actually. Like, I've got a ton of respect for him because he doesn't get an ego about it. He's humble. When he says he sucks, that means he sucks. He'd say it in the same way that I say it. When he says it, when I say it, I'm comparing myself to folks like Tinsley and Bowden up there. I am terrible in comparison to them. I will never be at their level, and I'm fine with that. I'm comfortable with it. Because it's a different set of priorities. He's doing it at the end of the day. He's doing this at the end of the day as a way to have fun, as like me, as someone who grew up as a kid just being a huge NASCAR fan, and now it's super awesome that there's this thing that we can do where we get to, feel like we're doing the thing that our childhood heroes did. But yeah, taking it too seriously would kill the fun for him, I think. And that's where I ultimately landed at it too. It was fun taking it seriously to a certain extent, but my couple stabs that I took at Road to Pro ended up going disastrously, and sort of made me realize it's like, okay, I put in effort, and like what it would take in terms of commitment, in terms of time to get to that place. I'm just not willing to invest in that. And they're like, again, there's no way I would cheat to do it, because there would be no point. Like, the entire time I'd be sitting there, like, the only reason I'm faster than hanging with these guys is because I'm cheating. It'd be so hollow. Like, can you imagine the scandal that would come out if one of the, like, the big streamers was revealed to have been cheating? You know, like, how you couldn't show your face to the entire community after that. Dude, if Malone got oh my gosh, I don't even want to mention that, because that, like, yeah, that would send a massive shockwave through the iRacing community. He's got such a huge brand. That's a high pressure spot to be in too. You know, like, he's got an awesome brand. He's got a very active community. He's really good with how he runs his streams, but, like, there's pressure with that too. If he were to, like, actually screw up massively, you know, the bigger you get, the more people are sitting there just waiting for the opportunity to take a shot at you and cut you down. Yeah, this one's a Ryan Newman scheme right here in front of me. The AC Delco scheme's further up there.
Good job.
Outside. Clear up top.
Played that a little bit wrong. Should have gone around him to the outside. I wasn't sure where he was going to go, and then I kind of committed low. Most important thing was I didn't get involved. Lost a little bit of time to the guys in front of me, but I don't know. I'm still learning with these cars. It's getting loud. Oh, there's one. That's a caution.
Give it some fuel whenever you can, but doing a really good job.
There's the Ace Delco car. He was in that.
No, close, close.
Why is DK streaming a church service? I don't even know who DK is.
Behind 17.
So this is a good time to pit.
Alright, looks like you're going to be lining up behind 17.
Yeah, see, I've been out of the game for a little while. There are a whole bunch of new streamers and folks that I do not know.
Pit road will be open.
I actually do know who that is, and I got nothing to say about him. It's alright.
Pit boxing 10.
How bad you get it, Ken?
5, 3, 2.
That was close on pit entry there.
Here.
But I had a meatball from the wreck anyway, so I really couldn't tell you. Ah.
Go big go, go big go.
I didn't see that.
Be mindful, you only have one set of tires remaining.
I think that, I mean, kind of like the cheating thing. I think that's sad in all kinds of ways. You're in an influential position where you're theoretically
My back end stepped out a little bit,
trying
right,
to
coming up in the line.
influence massive amounts of people in a positive direction. Ultimately, you know, if you go into the priesthood, you dive deep into a religion, theoretically, you're doing that out of a sincere interest to make the world a better place. And especially when you're working with children, you're in a very influential, powerful position over those people. Abusing that position of power, to me, is one of the most disgusting things that a human being can do.
Drop the whole run. 13 car, you're on the top.
Yeah, sorry about that. I was thinking about something else.
Because, yeah, the harm that's done with that has such a ripple effect. The harm that it's done on those kids' lives follows them their entire lives. You know, it has massive damage. The harm that you do to not just your religious institution or your particular religion, but the harm that you do to pursuits of spiritual faith as a whole is immeasurable and irreparable.
Up there, boy.
It's very, very harmful. No, yeah, makes me sick too, man. I'm right there with you on that.
You ready?
You'll notice a lot of things with the right, that a lot of what they complain about is actually projection. They tend to accuse the left of engaging in the bad behaviors that they are actually themselves very much interested in engaging in, and are very much, you know, like they actually accuse the left of doing what is actually political strategy. So, you know, when it comes to the idea of grooming kids, the entire time that they're accusing folks of the left, LGBTQ folks, what have you, of grooming children, they are actually directly engaged in grooming children with their propaganda to adhere to their particular set of beliefs and their political ideology. It's why they're going so hard at school boards right now. It's why they're trying to get books banned from classrooms and libraries. It's why they're trying to change, you know, control the way in which history is taught.
Still inside, even up. Good job, buddy. I want to get a chance. Still there. Still inside.
I don't know. I think these topics are important. They're not necessarily directly relevant to the race, but I think that they're fair questions to raise.
Inside. Still inside.
I'm fine with it.
Still inside. Still there. Still inside.
Dodge return into NASCAR in 2026. I'll believe it when I see it. That the Dodge returning to NASCAR rumor has been a thing since they left the sport, and it has yet to happen. I do think that NASCAR going to some form of hybridization or electrification is going to get a lot more manufacturers interested in it. Talked about this extensively yesterday, but you know, there are two main reasons why auto manufacturers invest the sizable investment that it takes to compete in auto racing, in any form of auto racing. One, marketing. Win on Sunday, sell on Monday. And two, research and development. There is no meaningful research and development happening with the internal combustion engine. It is, for all intents and purposes, a solved problem. Byram, been a long time. Good to see you. The internal combustion engine, for all intents and purposes, is a solved problem. We have made the internal combustion engine as good as it's ever going to be from an efficiency standpoint.
Pit road is open.
It's not going to get any better. So there is zero research and development incentive for any auto manufacturer to participate and compete in NASCAR in its current form. So take that incentive away completely. The only thing that they can hope to gain from competing in NASCAR right now is marketing, which is valuable clearly to the 3 manufacturers who compete in NASCAR. The Chevy, Ford, and Toyota feel that the reason they're in NASCAR is that by competing in NASCAR, they're telling you, hey, the amount of money that we spend competing is worth it. We're getting a return on our investment in terms. It is a positive value proposition for us to compete in NASCAR because the dollars that we spend on this just it's part of our marketing budget. But they're not getting anything from a research and development perspective. Now, where are all of the auto manufacturers expanding? Where is a lot of their research and development dollars going? It's going into electrification and hybridization. Electric cars, electric power plants, hybrid vehicles. That's where auto manufacturers are spending their research and development budget.
And then we actually that's so weird.
If as a no, you missed I haven't been. This week is the first week I've been streaming since like last spring. So you haven't been seeing my streams because I haven't been doing it very much. I'm semi-retired from streaming. But yeah, is that why Nissan is pouring millions into Formula E? Yes. It's also why Porsche's in there. I think Porsche's in there. Porsche released a statement a few years ago that said that they weren't interested, like they pulled out of all racing from a factory perspective unless it was full electric. I don't know if they've backtracked on that a little bit because I think I saw that they're going to be at Le Mans this year, but like, yeah. Formula E actually has a lot of manufacturers pouring a lot of money into there because it is think about it this way. When you're developing new technology, I work in quality assurance. I've worked in quality assurance both in the software industry, games first, and then now in general, so for like 15 years. When we're testing things, we stress test stuff. You try to imagine and conceive of the most extreme scenarios under which you can put any new feature on the piece of software you're testing. Same thing with this. When you're developing a new technology, the reason why auto manufacturers find so much value in auto racing, again, it's twofold. One, it's marketing. Two, research and development. Research and development comes from you get to test your technology and learn by stress testing things in an extremely in an extreme environment. Going 500 miles at 200 miles per hour when you're putting the thing at 9,500 RPM, if you can build an engine that does that, you can build an engine for the road that's going to go 50 or 60 miles per hour for 100,000 miles and never exceed 4,500 RPM without braking easily. You learn where the weak points are, you learn where the limits are, you learn where things break, and then when you dial the way back from that extreme, you've got something that's bulletproof reliable.
Green. Outside.
Sorry, stop me.
Go there.
I'm trying to get back around.
2 outside and
You're chilling, brother, man.
Am I making sense or am I just rambling?
One outside, two outside, one outside. Still outside.
His money. Why are people worried about how a guy spends his own money? Because how he's spending his money is impacting the rest of us.
Outside.
I think that should be fairly easy to comprehend.
Still there.
No one would be talking about Elon Musk if Elon Musk was spending his money buying a yacht and just hanging out doing pleasure cruises. People are upset with Elon Musk because he spent his money to purchase something that a lot of people were enjoying and turn it into something that was not fun for them anymore. He changed the product that they were already engaging with and enjoying. He injected himself into a conversation that they were having.
Halfway right now. Still outside. Clear high. Outside.
So,
Still outside.
if you want to inject yourself into a public conversation, people are going to have opinions about it. That's what a conversation is. I share my opinion, you share your opinion. You're going to have an opinion about my opinion when I share my opinion. That's okay. That's called free speech. That's how actual free speech works. It's a dialogue, not a monologue. Elon Musk wants it to be a monologue. He wants to preach from his position on high and not have anyone else
Still outside.
say anything against what he says.
Door outside.
You know, the biggest difference that I've seen in my Twitter experience is that before Elon Musk bought Twitter,
Still there.
Twitter wasn't the Elon Musk show 24/7.
Still out there. Core clear.
And like, as fun as it was to make fun of how incompetent he was at running the thing that he just wasted $44 billion on
Still there.
for like the first 2 weeks, that gets old and exhausting real quick. I just, like, at the end of the day, he's an obnoxious human being, and I really don't want
Still inside.
to hear about him. Not to mention the fact that, like, he fired all the folks that actually made it work, so now the performance of the site doesn't work as well anymore. Whole features of the site just stop working all of a sudden. No, I'm not. That's another thing, is that hate speech, particularly transphobia and homophobia, but all forms of hate speech are up since he purchased it. Yeah, no, I mean, like, if your position is he's not personally affecting me, so it's not really any skin off my nose, I guess that's a fair position. You know, it's a bit isolationist in my opinion, but if that's the way that you want to view things, that's fine. You know, like, but the reason that there are definitely valid criticisms and why people are upset with him that are not fairly characterized by saying it's just a lot of people upset about how one guy spends his money. That's not a fair characterization, in my opinion, of the arguments against Musk. So what I would say is if you want to engage in the Elon Musk debate, at least engage with the actual argument that people are making rather than engaging with a straw man of that argument. I mean, he literally did force his what was left of his engineering team to pull an all-nighter to change the algorithm to boost his tweets to the top of everyone's feed for, I think it was a couple days. I think, like, they've rolled that back because it's not happening, but, like, that was actually a thing that he did, which only shows how massively insecure he is. And it's like, dude, you were the richest guy in the world. You're still massively wealthy, and that's not enough for you. You also need, like, the constant adoration of a whole bunch of random people that you don't know. Yeah, like, I don't know. I don't see any value in the guy. I don't see anything worthwhile in what he does. I think it's very clear that, like, I think he's a very clear example that we don't live in a meritocracy. So, you know, is what it is. If he were to just sort of retreat into private life like most other billionaires do and not try to make everything about him, I wouldn't talk about him as much as I do. He wants to inject himself into the public conversation, so there are going to be people who... This is like we were talking about earlier with streamers. The bigger you get, the more popular you get, the more that there are going to be people who disagree with you, who don't like you, who are gonna, you know, have things to say against you. I feel like I'm faster than some of these guys in front of me. Let's see if we can actually make something happen here. Alright, which lane do you want, dude?
Outside. Door outside. Still outside.
Oh, we don't play that.
Clear outside.
I was right, I'm faster than him. He did want all the lanes, didn't he? We might be able to make this on fuel if it goes green. It's going to be close. I mean, I'm gonna stretch it if this goes green the whole way. I'll clutch the heck out of this thing before I pit. And I mean, with the tires getting worn, we're already using less fuel. Yeah, stop making stupid people famous. I agree. Like, you know, celebrity worship's not a good thing. Yeah, haven't been paying as much attention to F1 this year. Seems like, how do I put this? It seems like Matteo Binotto was not the only problem over at Ferrari. Getting rid of Binotto did not immediately solve all of Ferrari's issues. Which isn't to say that getting rid of Binotto is not wrong. Like, I made my fair share of Binotto just needs to play. You know, Binotto could be replaced by anyone who plays F1 Manager, and they would do better jokes. But it's obvious that removing him did not fix the problems that Ferrari has. Which is a shame. I like Charles. I want to see him do well. But yeah, my goodness. Ferrari is such a far cry from the team I remember them being when they were winning what felt like literally every race with Michael Schumacher.
Did I go get all your laps back?
There's a lesson in that. And like, there's a theme in everything that we've been talking about, from esports cheating to Elon Musk to Ferrari. Ego. Ego is hubris. It is a dangerous thing. It's the central tragic flaw in pretty much every Greek tragedy.
Still there at your door inside. Clear on the bottom. Outside. Gotta get to the traffic room. Sit forward. That's the door outside.
Yeah, that was a good
You're
catch
clear,
there.
clear.
It's an interesting car. With that one having a number 2 on it, that's actually... Yeah, that's sort of mixing the Childress Bush car with the Cup car from the 90s. It's not really an Earnhardt throwback, because when he ran in the Busch Grand National Series, he would run the 8, not the 2.
Still outside. Clear high, clear high. Laps to go.
20 to go. We're a lap and a half shy right now.
Inside, inside, inside. Still there. Clear, clear, clear.
No, I don't need a caution. No caution. Straight tail, how you doing? Oh yeah, he needs a caution. We do not. We want no caution. There's a chance that no one in front of us would be able to make it. Slim. I feel like I always think that no one else can make it, and they always manage to pull a rabbit out of their hat when I'm not expecting it, but...
I'm sorry.
You will have a clock.
Oh, there's the yellow.
This is closed. You'll be lining up behind the 20. Alright, you're gonna have to come around the tan car. Alright, we need to be behind the 20.
Yay, no fuel race.
Ooh.
That weird thing I was doing there, just throwing into the corner, clutching up to the wall, actually was working.
That was just about to get really fun.
I was gonna make it. Oh well. It was a hoax.
Happens every time.
It wasn't real.
Can't wait to be featured on Gen 4 Break Weekly.
Behind the 20.
I'm so goddamn lost in this car.
The litter
I
boxes
think
thing
it's
was
crap.
definitely
I
a
just hate
hoax.
Homestead. This place is not my best.
Pit road is open.
Retweet.
Jesus.
I look away for chat for a second, and we're talking about people growling at each other.
Line up behind the 24. Pit boxing 10,
Hmm.
5.
I'm out of tires, Ken.
Yeah, you're fine to
I was
send links.
cruising through the field, but didn't work out.
I almost took tires with you, JP.
Tiny bit of fuel, just in case we get a. I
wish
don't
you the
growl
best
at
of
people.
luck.
I mean, unless I want to growl at people, but I'm not a furry, so growling at people and being a furry for me are completely disconnected things.
Let's hit the cars. Make them last the rest of the race. Should be starting behind the
Just trying to figure out how brave I am.
This is just a basic thing.
Okay, so this whole time I've never
Accept
been in this
people
situation.
for who they
I was
are
under the
as they
impression
are.
they put the
Just
best set of
like
steps on, but
just
apparently they
do
don't.
that. Don't like.
No.
I've never even tried it. I just thought it was a thing. So, oops. I was wondering what you were doing. That explains it.
Yeah. This obsession that some people have with going out of their way to try to, like, find a way of describing what someone who's different from them is like, depraved in some way is
Second on old tire.
very weird to me.
Yeah,
Like,
I was kind of praying it would stay green.
Children, yeah, kids do kid stuff. I made animal noises when I was a kid. I would do things as a kid just to get a reaction. 'Cause kids do that stuff. Is it difficult for adults sometimes to understand and empathize with kids and be able to tell the difference at first when a kid acting out is just a kid acting out because they've got an excessive amount of energy, or they're,
We're on one to go.
you know, doing kid things, or they're, like, you know, genuinely struggling
Start.
with an aspect of their identity? Yeah,
Might try a power move down there. The one.
you know, but the solution to that, if you care about the kid in question, is to empathize, be patient, listen. It's not that hard. I'm not responsible for what I do or say in the morning before I have my coffee. Usually I'm just a zombie. Alright. We got 11 laps to go when we hit the line here. It's going to be fast and furious.
Boss, when you get them elbows out, get into one.
I don't think we're done wrecking. Especially since it looks like we got some guys who stayed out on this one.
Be ready. Ready. Green flag. Outside.
Good restart.
Clear.
Oh, I'm sorry. I got loose on entry there.
We do have folks wrecking.
Outside, outside. Still outside. Still outside. Clear. Outside. Still there. Too wide outside. 10 laps to go. Pretty much the strategy from this point to go like hell. One outside. Still out there. Still out there. Still there. Clear. Clear. Outside. Two wide outside. One outside. Still out there. Still there. Clear. Clear. Outside. Still out there. Still there. Still out there. Still there.
You broke.
He's got me this time.
Clear by half.
My apologies.
Furries are... Straight tail might be better equipped to describe it than me. Furries are people who dress up as animals as a fetish. You know,
Tyler, we made it to the back without causing a wreck.
like, as someone who's not really, like, who I'm not personally into it, like, I don't like speaking for other people, but, like, as far as I see it, it's like any other niche hobby that one can get into. Yeah.
Nine laps to go, nice and smooth.
You know, like, it's not something that I'm personally into, but the leap that some people go from, like, oh, that's not my thing, to being repulsed or disgusted or feeling like, because it's different from what they view as the societal norm, that they feel like that gives them the right and agency to mock and bully and treat the people who are into it as deviants or degenerates, or that they're, yeah. Yeah, drag queen, right? Drag is very similar to that. Now, where some folks do, and where it's come up in the discourse recently, where people do get it wrong, is in equating drag and furries with people who are trans. Those are different things. Liking to dress up in a costume is a different thing from your identity, your physical body that you inhabit, being of a different sex than what your gender feels like inside, that who you are inside doesn't match who you are outside. Those are different things, and I understand that when that concept is introduced to you at first, that, like, really understanding that difference can be difficult. But welcome to real life, where everything is not as simple and cut and dried as it was when we were in kindergarten. There are a lot of different people in this world with many varied and nuanced differences. Learning about and understanding those differences, for me, is something that I find enriches my life, and you gain a deeper understanding of the human experience by understanding and appreciating how different it is. And how many different normal is not cishet straight. Normal is that within the human experience, there are all kinds of different people. That, like, normal existent is the fact that we exist in this society where, yes, the majority of people are cisgendered, heterosexual people. I gained I rating for the first time all week.
Again, Philip, I just want
Feels
to say
good.
I'm sorry for getting in you there when it snapped loose. My bad.
But yeah, like, that's what
I know
normal
you're
is.
really
Normal
accepting it, I
is
just wanted
that
to take ownership of it
there's
again.
a certain percentage of people in society who are cisgendered, heterosexual. The vast majority of people in society are born and their gender matches what's in their pants. That's, but it is also part of normal that a small percentage of the whole does not have a gender that matches what's in their pants. That's not abnormal. Their existence is part of normal.
Right here.
Yeah, Colin, go look back at that.
No one's talking about banning
Like, I'm
everything
so
that people
confused.
could use to kill people. People, in the gun thing.
All right, I'll take a look.
Again, that's a straw man version of the argument. Not talking about anything that someone could use to kill people. We're talking about things that are specifically designed to be extremely efficient at killing people and do nothing else. I'm totally fine with people disagreeing with me, but, like, honestly engage with the argument that people are making. No, you killing your sister with a gun or a steak knife is murder. Again, that's not an accurate characterization of the argument that is being made against assault weapons, for example. Correct, because the primary function of a steak knife is cutting into a delicious steak so that you can cut off a small portion of it, pick it up with a fork, and then put it in your mouth. There are many legitimate reasons for one to have a steak knife that don't involve murder. If you murder someone with it, you are misusing the steak knife, clearly. Well, yeah. No, I don't agree with that. The primary reason for a gun, especially if you're talking about certain kinds of guns, if you're talking about AR-15, if you're talking about a Glock, if you're talking about a handgun, the primary reason for that gun is to be it's a tool Just like the steak knife, it's a tool designed with a specific person in mind. That purpose that it was designed for is to be extremely efficient at ending the life of another human being. That is what it was designed to do. That is its sole purpose. So the argument for restricting who can have access to these extremely powerful and dangerous things that were designed with one purpose in mind is not yes, you do. It's the only reason anyone would own a gun is to kill people. Now, people who say, no, it's about self-defense. Well, self-defense by way of using it to kill some theoretical threat in the future. That is the best case argument for owning a gun, is that you own it so that in the event where you have to use it to kill someone, it will be effective at accomplishing that task. That's why people own guns. It's most people who don't own guns don't own it so that they can go on a murder spree, but they do own it with the purpose that they will kill someone with it in a certain circumstance. That's the idea that's in your head when you buy the gun, is that this thing is going to be good at killing a person if I'm in this situation where I need to kill a person. You might be in a legally justifiable or legally defensible position where killing a person is legally defensible, but it's still your purpose for owning it is to kill a person. It's what it's made for. That's what it's good for. That was top split. Not bad. 153 points. I'm happy with that. I wouldn't own a gun. I don't own a gun, and I never will. If I had a guy pull a gun on me, depending on how close he is, if he's really far away, I'm probably going to duck behind cover and try to get away. If he's close to me, I'm going to try to take his gun out of his hands, which is a much more effective way of reducing the threat than trying to get into a shootout with him. People think guns make them safer, but the reality is that owning a gun in your home increases the likelihood that you'll be that's the way that you'll die, or that someone close to you will die. Now, granted, there are absolutely situations, life situations, where I completely understand why people want to own a gun. We don't live in a perfect society. We live in an imperfect society. So in this context where guns are everywhere and there are definitely, a sizable number of dangerous people, and where people can be in situations where they really do have a valid reason to fear for their life because someone else, they know that there's someone out who's creepy, who's stalking, who poses them a threat. I completely understand. I'm actually going to go back to this scene so that, because that still has chat on. I completely understand why people, why certain people feel the need to arm themselves in the context that we have in this country where there are so many guns. I get it. I don't agree with it in most cases. Could live in the Hamptons and it can be... No, it's not. I mean, statistically, it's not just as dangerous, though. That's also inaccurate. Like, but, I mean, the reasons why certain parts of St. Louis City are more dangerous than others are really complicated. And it ultimately comes down to a lot of economic situations. There's a lot of history there that's super complicated. No, it couldn't be. I mean, yeah, theoretically it could be, but it's not. If the Hamptons became just as dangerous as St. Louis City, then that would mean that there would have been a massive demographic shift either in the Hamptons negatively or like negatively in terms of crime rates, or positively in St. Louis City, where the economic situation and therefore the demographics that contribute to the crime rate shifted. So yeah, there could be. There's nothing. You're right. There's nothing inherent to the names of places that makes them more or less violent. It's all economics, demographics, and the way the way that society has sorted itself and been sorted by practices like redlining and things like that. Now, could an individual person living in the Hamptons in a certain situation be in more danger living in their super high-end neighborhood than someone living in St. Louis? Yeah, absolutely. Look at the super wealthy lawyer that got convicted for murdering his family. In that situation, his wife and his kid that he killed were in much greater danger being at home with their dad than they were being anywhere else. But like that's an exception. That's not a statistically relevant data point. That's one data point that feeds into the whole when we talk about whether an area is dangerous for the average person. Anecdotes are kind of, yeah, they're exceptions. It's not a you're taking one thing and then putting it and then treating it like it's statistically relevant in a way that it's not, if that makes sense. Anyway, the ending of this YouTube video has gone in a very interesting direction. It's going to be fun to see what people in YouTube have to say about the comments if they watch this far. How about that? With that said, YouTube, I'm going to say goodbye to you guys.